Today we're going to learn how to use sections to make our little song idea into a full-length song. So first, let's play our idea. So we have 4 tracks in our idea, and we can make this longer. First, we're going to click Add Section, and we're going to label this section Chorus, because this is probably going to be the main idea for our song. So you can drag your section name to be the length of the whole section. And now if I click and drag this, I can move this whole part of the song around. Okay, so my chorus is going to happen later in the song. So let's move it over here for now. And let's make a new section called the intro. For the intro, I want to have my drums. I'm going to copy Ctrl C and paste my drums. Ctrl V. And I also want to have my piano. So I click on the piano, Ctrl C, and then move over here, Ctrl V for the piano. Make sure it's on the right track. It was on my bass track for a second there, but you can see this is the piano right there. And for my intro, I want to chop up these 2 parts to have a short 1, 2, 3, 4 intro. So first, let's zoom in, and I want to chop it right here. Watch. Right before that hit. So I'm going to highlight these 2, click and drag. Then I'm going to touch Ctrl E, hold down Ctrl, hit the letter E to make the split of these 2 regions. And we can delete these because we don't need them. And I'm going to copy this again, Ctrl C, and make sure this is at the end and paste it 4 times. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So now our intro sounds like this. And that's exactly what I want. So your intro might sound different, right? You can do anything that you want for your intro, but for my intro, that's what I want it to be. So you can see I have a short intro. So I'm going to make this shorter. And now that I'm done with the intro, I can go back to the chorus and drag it next to the intro. So now we have intro, chorus. Yeah, that sounds good. The next thing I want to do is create a verse. So let's say the chorus is where somebody like Bob is going to sing, and then Janet's going to be on the verse. So I have my 2 vocal tracks right here, Bob and Janet. And I just made these by clicking Add New Track, Voice and Mic Track to make those 2 tracks. Okay, and then what we're going to do is add our verse. So we'll hit plus section, verse. And for my verse, I want to keep the same drums again. So I'm going to copy, Ctrl C, paste the drums, and I want to keep my bass, Ctrl C on the bass, Ctrl V to paste. There we go. So now I have my bass and my drums. But for my verse, let's make this longer. There we go. That's the length of the verse. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So now you can see we have intro, chorus, verse. So if I wanted to, I could move the chorus after the verse. Move the verse over here like that. See? So this is the power of sections. Now we can move the sections around however we want. But let's keep it like this. So now I go from my chorus, which has 4 instruments, to my verse, which just has drums and bass. Okay, sounds good. But let's say for the verse, I want to have a different bass than this driller bass. So I found a bass called Alpha 808. And let me show you how I did that. I'll just delete this first. I'll go to add new track, bass, and I'm going to look through some bass lines right here. So you can go one at a time like this, or you can click in the middle and go to Alpha 808. I'm going to close out. And now I'm just going to move my bass line from driller bass down to Alpha 808. So now I still have drums and bass, but it's a different bass. So listen for the different bass. Okay, that's sounding good. And I'm going to take out these high notes in my bass for the verse. So let's double click it and delete those parts. Okay, so now my verse bass doesn't sound exactly the same as my chorus bass. That's something that I wanted to change. Okay, so now I have intro, chorus, verse, and then I'm going to do another chorus right here. So how do we copy and paste sections? Go to the section name, right click, copy. Then we go to the end where we want to paste. So this is by number 18. And we're going to hit Ctrl V to paste. Ctrl V to paste. Look at that. So now we have intro, chorus, verse, chorus. And if we want another verse after the chorus, we can right click, copy the verse, paste it right here, Ctrl V. There we go. We have verse, intro, chorus, verse, chorus, verse. And then what if we wanted to have an outro right here? We can click section, outro. So now we have intro, chorus, verse, outro. And maybe for my outro, I just want to have, I'm going to copy the piano and put the piano right here. And let's just shorten the piano. Oops. Let me zoom in. There we go. So I'm going to shorten the piano to this. So now my outro, it's very short. It sounds like this. Okay, and that's all I wanted for my outro, just a piano part. So now, if we zoom out, we have intro, chorus, verse, outro. Great, that's our whole song. So that's how you go from one little section. This was our first idea for the song, which we called chorus. And then we chopped up the chorus to make the intro. Then we copied the drums and the bass to make the verse section. And then after that, we just copy pasted the chorus, the verse, the chorus. And remember, you can still keep adding things to this. So if we wanted to add another track of, let's say, well, how about we go to Patterns Beatmaker? We could add something right here like a hi-hat sound. So that pattern, where is that? It's right here at the end. So I could drag this over. Let's say I want to put it in my verse or my chorus. I could put that anywhere I want now. So just keep that in mind. if you want to keep building with sections, you can, even after you've made the section. So let's say, for example, this is in my intro. Okay, I don't like that, but I can put it wherever I want. Okay? So you could still add more tracks to each section even after you make it. But that's it. That's how you build with sections. That's how you copy, paste sections, and how you copy, paste, and cut tracks.